Yo, bro, I just watched I'm Still Here. Yeah, the Oscar buzz got me too. Anyway, did you know about this Brazilian military dictatorship in the 60s and the 70s? Wait a minute, how the hell you knew? We went to the same damn school. Man, it sounds like it was nuts. Now, I'm not saying being black in America was much more fun in the 1960s. I'm just glad for once the United States had nothing to do with another country's drama. I'm sorry, what? Alright, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, today we're doing a spoiler-free breakdown of the new movie, I'm Still Here. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular taste takers, let's see what we got in our international film bag. Okay, quick background here. Well, it's kind of like background and plot time. I also don't know that I would call it quick. That will. I'm Still Here is a 2024 Brazilian political biographical drama directed by Walter Salles. It tells the story of Eunice Paiva, whose husband Rubens was taken into military custody back in 1971 Brazil. Eunice and Rubens have 5 kids, 4 daughters and 1 son named Marcelo, poor thing. Marcelo was only 11 in 1971 when his dad disappeared. In 2015, he wrote an autobiography called Ainda Estou Aqui, which translates to, you guessed it, I'm Still Here, which is the memoir that this film is based on. Now, you may be wondering what Marcelo's dad did to be taken by the Brazilian government, and unfortunately the answer is nothing really. Back when Brazil was under its military dictatorship, this kind of thing happened all the time. And I would hate to waste your time on a movie review video talking about the history of said dictatorship, but I would also hate not to waste your time talking about the history of said dictatorship. Okay, I'm gonna be quick, promise. 2 things first. Number 1, if you don't care about this shit, you could just fast forward a little bit and I'll tell you what I thought about the movie. Number 2, I ain't no history teacher and I'm not Brazilian. Naturally, these political strifes are layered with nuance, and no one could tell a Brazilian story better than a Brazilian. So if you happen to have some extra color, feel free to leave it in the comments. Just remember to keep that shit civil and go easy on me. I'm just a baby. Alright, so boom, surprise, surprise, the core of this conflict goes back to the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the home team USA. Haven't been able to mind our own damn beeswax since we signed the Declaration of Independence. Should have called that shit the Declaration of In Your Damn Business. Who wrote that? Oh, I wrote all this. Okay, to Brazil. In 1961, their democratically elected president, this dude named Janio Quadros, randomly resigned. I don't even know why he resigned. Probably just wanted to vibe out and kick it with his homies. Anyway, this meant that his vice president, a man named João Goulart, who they called Django, and who I'm going to call Django, was automatically named president. I guess people don't like it when a president resigns and the vice president automatically steps in. But relax, this was different. And just to make things a little bit more complicated, the president and vice president that were a part of this switcheroo were in different parties. Yeah, I guess in Brazil you could just do that shit. The real problem was that a lot of Brazilians thought that Django, the new guy, had some communist-leaning policies. Not only that, this dude Django was literally in China when the news broke that he was set to be president. It's probably not the best look when you're trying to get people to believe that you're not a communist. And that's where a lot of this drama leveled up, because then in 1964, the right-wing Brazilian military, the rich rural folks, and the conservative Catholic Church, all backed by the freaking United States government, started a coalition to stop this communist threat and get Django and his boys the fuck up out of there. And that shit worked. But what was supposed to be a brief intervention ended up being the beginning of this Brazilian military dictatorship. 21 years of wild censorship and insane human rights violations. And that's like a very short version of that story. So like I said, this movie tells the true story of the Rubens Paiva case, who was a congressman years before he was taken in this Brazilian military dictatorship. So we get to see how his wife Eunice balances trying to find answers about her husband, all while trying to raise these 5 kids as best as she can amidst all this craziness. I'm Still Here had its world premiere last September at the Venice International Film Festival, where it took home the award for Best Screenplay. And that is not the only awards news we got. It was also named one of the top 5 international films of 2024 by the National Board of Review. Then, Fernanda Torres, who plays Eunice, just won the award for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture Drama at this year's Golden Globes. And although there's more nomination and award news, none of them are bigger than what's to come at the 97th Academy Awards, where I'm Still Here was nominated for Best International Film, that was expected, Best Supporting Actress, again for Fernanda Torres, which she low-key should win that too. But most importantly, this I'm Still Here thing was nominated for Best Picture, like overall Best Picture, making it the first Brazilian film of all time to be nominated in this category. Only one international film has ever won the award for Best Picture. Shout out to Parasite, which was fire and is celebrating its 5-year anniversary in select IMAX screens next month. That was not a paid promotion for IMAX, but it could be. The point is, it's a huge deal that I'm Still Here was nominated. And for the first time in Oscars history, it's alongside another Best International Film nominee by the name of Emilia Perez, which must be destroyed. But with all that love for I'm Still Here, you gotta expect a little hate, because the film surely faced some boycott attempts from some far-right groups in Brazil. Apparently, these haters didn't like the film's portrayal of the military dictatorship and its overall stance on the era. I don't think the Brazilian people like being tortured by their own government. Boycott schmoycott though. This film was released in Brazil on November 7th, Eunice Paiva's birthday, and grossed over $15 million on a budget of less than $2 million, making it the highest grossing Brazilian film since the Pandiski. So what's my take? Let me just say it was a choice to not know anything about this movie going into it. I should have watched this movie when I was at the Toronto International Film Festival last year, but I didn't know about it. When it was nominated for Best Picture, it was the only movie on the list that I hadn't seen yet. And I didn't know, punk, I gotta watch them all. And no, I'm not scared of a Portuguese language movie with English subtitles. I can read. You know, a lot of people will be like, why do they speak Portuguese in Brazil? I don't know how to tell you this, but the answer is within you. It's because they were colonized by Portugal. They was people already there chilling, macking the hoes, and Portugal just came and said, this is how you speak now. And that's the real story. If you have a question about history, usually the answer is 2 things. It's either colonization or the United States did. I'm just playing, America. You know I love you. Anyway, back to the movie. Okay. What was I talking about? Right. Even when I bought a ticket for this movie, I for sure wasn't going to review it. Yet here we are. Because you know my slogan. Ain't no story like a true story. This was an excellent movie that is now taking me down the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes. When I left that theater, I was about ready to go down to Brazil myself and start looking for clues. I love true stories, especially historical stuff. And especially historical stuff that I didn't know about. Like, I never heard of this Brazilian military dictatorship. And I can assure you, people of Brazil, if I was alive back then, I would have put a stop to it. Okay, get serious. There's so much connection and history in the creation of this movie. You could feel it when you watch the movie. The director, like I said, is a Brazilian named Walter Salles. Walter Salles spent time with this actual family growing up. Like, he was in that house. Walter Salles also directed a movie called Central Station 25 years ago. That movie starred a woman named Fernanda Montenegro, who is not only revered as the greatest Brazilian actress of all time, she's also the mother of Fernanda Torres. And Walter gets to direct both of them in I'm Still Here. Walter credits Marcelo's book for being the reason he could even make this movie. He spent 7 years working on it. And the result is something very deserving of all the accolades it is getting and will get. Okay, let's just be clear. Yes, this is a story of a man in Brazil who was basically forcibly taken from his home by the Brazilian military. But this is no action movie. Do not expect this movie to be a nonstop thriller. In actuality, there was chunks of this movie that I found kind of boring, especially not knowing the story or where it was going. If this was a book, I would say it's not a page turner, but it's a must read. I don't know that I've seen a more realistic acted family. Definitely not in a long time. Obviously, this movie centers around Eunice and how she's handling all this turmoil. But every member of the family brings something to the table. I mean, you even fall in love with the freaking dog. But the kids really bring something special here. Hello, Valentina. So many times in movies like this, it's a family that's already down on their luck, struggling to make ends meet, and then running into another level of hardship, especially movies that take place in places like Brazil. Between me and you, Hollywood could sometimes make it seem like a lot of these countries only house poor people or unhoused poor people. Yeah. This was a normal middle-class family in 1970s Brazil that liked to play sports, troll their little brother, and eat souffle. These people even had a video camera. A video camera in 1970s Brazil. I didn't even have a video camera growing up in the 90s in the United States. Well, I think we did, but I lost it. There's probably some fire footage on there. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this is just a normal family. So when their father Rubens is taken, Eunice has to do everything in her power to maintain this level of normalcy in the midst of the most not normal shit she's ever seen in her life. And I think that's what sets Fernanda Torres' performance apart. She's playing this role with such grace. It's not often that you get a female lead that's going through something like this and not playing the victim. And maybe that's another reason why this movie resonated with me. If my mom was put in a situation like this, she would react the exact same way. This is how she did react. She would never let the government or whatever the thing was think that they had her beat. She wouldn't give it the satisfaction. And on top of that, she would never let her kids be deprived of a fulfilling childhood, a huge burden to carry, but she carried it. Super strong performance by both women, I must add, but Fernanda, I think, has an excellent chance to win this Oscar. Also, and I don't comment on this often, but cinematography, very well done. For a country that Americans don't often see, it made Brazil look incredible. And being shot on 35mm film, you really felt that you were watching footage from the 70s. And that's a balance too, because for all the shots of these beautiful Brazilian beaches, watching these kids play volleyball, there's also another side of that where you have to show the menacing part of Brazil during this military regime. And they did that too. A really strong movie. I'm glad I took myself to see it, and a worthy entry into the discussion of Best Picture. Whether it wins or not, this sudden boost in press and reviews will surely get more people to watch it. And getting people to see and appreciate your art will always be more valuable than any award. Although getting an Oscar would be fucking dope. I'm Still Here is playing right now in some very select theaters, but it's out there. Go find it. As always, thanks for checking out Tate's Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, did y'all enjoy this movie? Have y'all seen this movie? Have y'all heard of this movie? Okay, we could also talk about like some of your favorite like foreign language movies, you know, because now I could read subtitles. There's no stopping me. Honestly, I gotta go with Parasite and Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I don't have to go through my video reviews. Maybe this is only my second international film review, different language. This is growth. This could be called growth of the channel. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Hey. Okay, yeah, whatever, it's new. We'll see how it sounds. But yeah, these Best Picture nominations, let me see what are the chances of this movie winning. I think it has a decent chance, but okay, let me tell you what it doesn't have a chance. A Complete Unknown. That movie should have stayed unknown. Timothée Chalamet did good, but that movie sucks. Okay, what has a chance? Okay, Anora, that's my favorite. I think Anora could win. The Brutalist could win too, but this movie, I'm Still Here just as good as The Brutalist. Emilia Perez cannot win. Conclave, okay, that's fine. Nickel Boys, of course, is a good movie, but it's not the Best Picture of the year. The Substance, not going to win, but a very good movie. Dune Part 2, they've been hating on that movie for centuries. Wicked, I'm sorry, Wicked, it's not for you. So I'm Still Here has a chance here. Who are y'all rooting for for a Best Picture? I'm going to put it, maybe it's already there. But yeah, who are you guys rooting for? Also, back to that political thing, like if Donald Trump was the president and Kamala Harris was the vice president and Donald Trump quit and then Kamala Harris became president automatically, you thought the insurrection, these people will storm the moon. They're like, what are you guys doing? There's nothing on the moon. They said, no, we're just sending a message, whatever.